Perfect.
All right. Hello. Thank you for joining us for our first episode of Pink Diaries. And today we are going to talk about self-love. But first of all, let me introduce my beautiful co-host and friend, Veronica Ray.
Thank you. And my amazing co-host and friend, Lala Asif with Innerworks. And so our topic today is going to be about a word that is trending, yet in our previous conversations, it's something that we really just don't talk about. So today we're going to talk about self-love, what the meaning of self-love is, and beyond the meaning, we want to take a look at what it looks like.
Alright, so we have Annie Lillard here from & Company, and we have her small introduction on our Facebook for Pink Diaries. But Annie, why won't you tell us about yourself a little bit?
Oh, okay. My name is Annie, and I love long walks in the park. I have 5 animals. I have a daughter that's 17. I am passionate about strategic planning, goal setting, career development, and living your best life. I feel like I've named my company & Company because I worked at a company and it was that person's name, & Company. And I was always running around being the & Company, and then I thought, how many people need an & Company? And so that's where it started. And
That's
if you
awesome.
and if you look up the dictionary and look up the word company, it's to hang out with others for enjoyment and friendship. So that kind of inspired the whole thing.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that.
I hope you knew that.
No, I did not. Yeah, so
I
that's
know
something
that.
new I learned.
Yeah.
Cool. So I think that we are going to get started with, we want to ask Annie a few questions. We want to really kind of get intimate with her and let her share her story about self-love and what it looks like.
Go ahead, Annie.
So tell me, Annie, what is your perception? How do you see self-love?
Gosh, that's a big question. I think my number one is it's a verb. It's an action, just like you receive love and you give love. It's all through movement and action. 2, it's a practice. I think that you practice it constantly to achieve that. And 3, it's kind of a chemistry between yourself and your spirit.
Yes, I love the definition.
Thanks.
It's
So
beautiful.
those are my big 3 around how I perceive it.
Right. Cool.
Between self and soul.
I love that.
This is beautiful. All right, so tell me, who modeled it for you? Was it anybody in the family or in community? How did you learn about self-love?
You know, that was a hard one. I don't think I really necessarily learned about self-love until I was in my 30s, because the women in my life who I love and loved me a whole bunch were not good at loving themselves. They were ridiculed with what I perceive now as an adult with shame, and shame held them back, and forgiveness for yourself from really experiencing self-love.
Right.
Shame is dangerous.
Absolutely.
You know, that's kind of the opposite
Yes.
of self-love. We all make mistakes, but sometimes we can be eaten up by it. So, as ridiculous as it sounds, Oprah.
Yes.
Yes.
Oprah was kind of my catalyst. I got interested in her at a young age, and that kind of got me curious. And from there, I self-studied.
That's really awesome. I love that.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Well, as a grown-up, it becomes your choice, and also your responsibility to learn about the things that can serve you better. So you did good. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
And it was really interesting to hear her mention shame, right? Because a lot of times we think that self-love is so selfish,
Definitely.
and so it's important to really consider how that impacts. Yes.
Yeah, a lot of people confuse self-love for narcissism.
Yes, ma'am.
And narcissism is putting your own needs and your own agendas above everything else. And that is not self-love. That is totally exactly opposite. And so self-love is kind of your life vessel to help others.
Absolutely. We actually just had that conversation earlier about, one of the things that I think of when I think of self-love, I think about inhaling, right? Inhaling all of this love and that gives me, that fills me all up with
Right.
love, and it allows me to expel more love, right?
Yeah, I really love that.
Mhm.
And Rumi said, exhale only love.
That's
you
right.
really cannot exhale love if you actually don't receive any and you don't do anything for yourself.
Absolutely.
You can't give what you don't have.
I love that.
All right, you guys. If you have any questions,
Yeah, actually, so like, how do you apply self-love in your daily life, and how do you model this for your daughter?
Very good question.
You know what's interesting is my daughter and I were eating breakfast and I asked her a question about who models self-love for her, and do I? And she said, sometimes.
oh wow.
And that was a real like, what? I am so open-minded and wonderful. And she said, you are really hard on yourself about your physical body. And so today I learned through this is that I need to watch how I talk about myself and how much value I place on the way I look physically, because she's listening.
That's
Definitely.
Right, and so I thought I did a good job until her and I were sitting at the table talking about how I've influenced that. On the other side, she's like, you get up and you do it no matter what. And you encourage me to get up and do it no matter what. And so there was, spiritually and mentally, I'm really good at it, but I guess physically, I have some things to work on. And it's not that I tear myself down, it's just I'll say, oh my gosh, I look so fat in this, you know, and that is, don't talk to my friend that way. I need to start telling myself that.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yes.
I am my friend.
That's
Definitely.
right. My first friend.
Before you're anybody's friend, you're your friend.
Right, it's my vessel of love. And so one was talking through her with that, and two, I'm a big fan of rituals. So even if it's as simple as taking a shower every day, is getting up and showing myself that love. And I'm an empath, which means I really soak in other people's feelings. And so when I wake up and take a shower, it's very cleansing.
Right.
And then while I'm in the shower, that's when I do chanting meditation.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah.
So you are loving on yourself a lot. And so one thing that I heard you say was that it is something that you have to work on. And I think that's with all things that we do. So reward yourself for the self-love that you are giving yourself now, and just continue to allow that to be a process that you work on, because in all things, it's always work. We will always be working on ourselves. Yeah.
Continuous work.
Yeah, interesting. So, we don't have much time left, but so as we wrap up, can you share, for a young lady that's watching, can you share the importance of self-love?
The importance of self-love.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one. I wasn't prepared, because
That's okay.
what I was prepared for was what I would say on like the advice. And I'm going to go there first because it was really important, is that don't spend your time with people that make you feel like you're hard to love. And that was a big thing for me in my journey of self-love. And so the importance was, I know my worthiness and I know my value, and I have control over my own destiny. And that is where self-love comes in, because you have the confidence to know that you're in control and you're driving that boat. And so it changed my life to, I let go of the fear, and then I also held myself accountable, because I'm it. I would love for you ladies to join with me on everything I do, but if you don't, I'm going to do it anyway.
Absolutely.
Right? And so that was a scary thing to go through. So I think self-love that's important. It's never perfection.
That's
I
right.
make mistakes every day. I do things that I am not always proud of, but I'm always confident that those aren't, if I mess up, it's not who I am.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
right.
Happened.
I mean, and now I'm like, yeah, let's do that 100 times. I mean, failure doesn't scare me.
That's right.
Yes.
So, whatever.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
It's so amazing.
Yeah.
And it's so cool because, I think that's when we look at self-love, if we look at how we treat other people, right? We forgive our friends when they make mistakes. Why can't we forgive ourselves?
We have way more grace for our friends than
Right.
we do for ourselves.
Absolutely.
We weren't taught that, but it's
That's
okay.
right.
We can teach ourselves this. This is why it's so important for us to think and feel and act this way, because we know that there are women out there who still are in the process of just getting introduced to this concept.
Absolutely.
So thank you for being here.
Thank
This
you
was
for
fun.
having me.
I
And
love
join
it.
us again next week for another episode of Pink Diaries as we dig deeper into this concept of self-love.
And next week,
Yes.
so next week we will actually be having a very intimate conversation, just Lala and I.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about the difference between self-love and self-care.
Self-care.
Yes.
Yes, and how in our books and our conversations, people who are talking, how they look down on this concept. It's actually a negative concept. Self-love has been looked down on by people thinking about it's probably narcissism and
Yeah.
histrionic and it's a disorder. But you know, everything, and we have to just talk about it and deal with it.
I think that goes back to not hanging out with
That's
people
right.
that make you feel like you're hard to love.
That's
Definitely.
right. Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, if you are interested in sharing your story, we would love to have you as a guest. You can email us at pinkdiaries.tv@gmail.com.
And as we expose our vulnerabilities, it gives you freedom to
To-
be yourself.
That's right.
All right,
Yes.
thank you. See you
you
next
next
time.
week.